Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to get into the Colorado Avalanche versus Carolina Hurricanes game, or should I say the Nordiques versus Whalers game. Speaking of the Nordiques, I have the perfect hat for that. Alright, now where were we? Alright, the Nordiques versus the Whalers. Unfortunately, growing up, I never got a chance to watch the Nordiques play, but I did grow up an Avalanche fan and a huge fan of Joe Sakic. I remember watching highlights of Sakic in those old Nordiques jerseys, and I fell in love with him back then. Getting to see both the Nordiques and Whalers jerseys tonight made it seem like a small part of history came back to life. The starters in net is Scott Wedgwood for Colorado and Freddie Anderson for Carolina, both of which are also wearing retro pads to fit the game. Also, before puck drop, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Colorado Avalanche both honored Brent Burns for his accomplishment on 1,500 games. And as soon as the puck dropped, this game just felt like an old school game. 3 minutes into the game, and there's an offensive zone possession, but the puck skips over Kale's stick. This created a one-on-one with Robinson and Taves, and a harmless looking shot beats Wedgwood, but 1 minute later, the Avs respond. Nichushkin steals the puck off of ex-Avs Sean Walker. He then makes a power move to the slot and backhands a shot over Freddie Anderson and in. Not even 5 minutes into this game and we're tied at 1. With about 14 and a half minutes, Colton gets his pocket pick, but Wedgwood comes up huge. A couple seconds after that big save, Carolina takes a penalty. And on that following power play, Landy throws a no-look pass to the blue line, and only Seth Jarvis is there to pick it up. This gave Jarvis a shorthanded breakaway, and he buries it. About 5 minutes later, Ehlers throws a shot on net. It bounces off Wedgwood, bounces off Aho, and into the net. Now, after an unfortunate bounce, the Avs find themselves down 3-1. And not even a minute later, there's a face-off in the Avs defensive zone. The Avs win the puck back to Makar, and everyone else flies the zone. When Makar tried to flip this puck out, it bounced off Taylor Hall's hip. Taylor Hall then puts the puck in the middle of the ice and creates a 2-on-0 against Scott Wedgwood. And as both Carolina players crash the net, the puck just slides in. That would be the end of Wedgwood's night and the start of Trent Miner's. The Avs finally get to the end of the first period, and they could not get out of that period fast enough. The Avs outshot Carolina 18-12 that period, but with the sloppy plays, they find themselves down 4-1. 2 minutes into the second period, and Carolina takes another penalty, but Carolina was able to keep the Avs off the board. About a minute after that power play, though, Malinsky throws a shot on net that gets deflected by Kelly's hand. Carolina does take a timeout to review the play. They then challenge for a missed stoppage in play. After review, the goal stands, and Carolina gets a penalty for delay of game. This was the perfect time for the Avs to create some momentum, but unfortunately, they couldn't get on the board. With about 12 minutes left in the second period, Cale Makar lays a hit on Taylor Hall. Shortly after, Taylor Hall retaliates and slashes Makar. This puts the Avs on another power play, but once again, the power play was held off the board. Shortly after that power play, though, there was a stoppage in play, and before the cameras cut, you could see Taylor Hall yelling at the refs. This tells me that Carolina is pretty frustrated, and the Avs need to capitalize on that. About 5 minutes after that, Kotkaniemi gets sprung on a breakaway. Nelson did everything he could to stop the play, but ultimately had to trip the player. On the following PK, though, two Avalanche defensemen got breakaways, with Cale Makar getting the first one and Josh Manson getting the second. Unfortunately, Freddie Anderson shut the door on both of them, but I guess that is one way to neutralize Carolina's power play. With a minute 26 remaining, Carolina takes an interference penalty, but their aggressive PK keeps the Avs off the board again. You can tell that Colorado upped the pressure on Carolina, and they only let them get 4 shots. 2 minutes into the third period, and Malinsky falls, and he takes down Taylor Hall. This means that he gets called for interference, though. A couple of huge saves by Trent Miner keeps Carolina off the board. Shortly after the Avalanche finished that PK, they were set up in the Kane zone. Nietzsche sends a puck out to Lecky. His shot goes wide, but the puck came right to Nietzsche, and he beat Freddie Anderson to his post. Now the Avs are within 1. Oh, and this also extends Nietzsche's point streak. About 30 seconds after that goal, Taylor Hall is still rattled, and he starts a scrum behind the Avs net. And as soon as he does, he gets swarmed by 3 Avalanche players. After the refs separated everyone, we come out of it with matching penalties. One on Kelly and one on Hall, both for roughing. During that 4-on-4, Val absolutely outworks Chatfield. This leaves Chatfield struggling to stay on his feet as he holds Nichushkin. Unfortunately, this was another power play the Avs didn't convert on. With about 7 minutes left, Drury had a chance to tie the game, but a sliding Aho stops the play. And then shortly after Aho stopped that play, he took a run at Drury and got a penalty. And finally, on the Avs' 7th power play of the night, they get a goal. Landy just fires a shot on goal, it bounces off Freddie right to Val's stick, and he makes sure to put it home. Now with just under 6 minutes left to go in the game, we're tied at 4. And at this point, you know the refs are just looking for any excuse to call a a penalty on the Avalanche. So 2 minutes later, they do just that. Val tries to go around a Carolina player and touches his stick with an open palm, and the ref calls him for holding the stick. After that PK, Drury gets pulled down by Sean Walker, and he gets a penalty. I then think the ref saw the replay and realized he made a bad call, and he ends up calling both of them. And then with 2 minutes left, there's a stoppage in play for an injury. After the refs huddle up a little bit, they decide that they need to give the Avs a penalty. And with 12 seconds left, Trent Miner makes 2 huge saves to send this game to overtime and continue the Avs point streak. So we'll start overtime with 13 seconds of 4-on-3 power play, and then it'll go 4-on-4 to the next stoppage. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, the ballerina Taylor Hall spins himself into the ground as soon as he feels Nature's touch him. This gave Carolina a 4-on-3 chance to win the game. Fortunately, they're unable to beat the goaltender Trent Miner, and this game continues. With a minute 16 left, Stankoven takes a high-sticking penalty and sends the Avs to a 4-on-3 power play for the rest of the game. Unfortunately, the Avs were not able to close this game out in overtime. So now we head to the shootout. The first shooter is Carolina, and it's Jarvis. Jarvis comes down, gets Trent Miner to bite and slide out of position, and just tucks one home. Unfortunately, that Jarvis goal would be the only goal in the shootout, and the Avs fall 5-4. And Trent Miner did amazing in this game. He went 20 for 20 on the shots, and was the main reason the Avalanche even stayed in this game. Another thing is Nietzsche is looking amazing. Tonight, he absolutely looked like a man on a mission, similar to the ways that we've seen Makar and McKinnon take over games. Is it just me, or does there seem to be some bad blood between the Carolina Hurricanes and the ex-Slayers?